Boom, we're back, and we have another no-gi roll featuring your favorite 20-stripe white belt, and we have a newcomer to the channel. His name is Hunter from our sister gym. He is a blue belt with 4 stripes, and yes, I did just assume the gym's gender. Remember, if you want to get awesome gear like Hunter's wearing, you can find my gear at xmartial.com, and you can use my link in the description to save money. Now what you're going to learn from this roll is how to smash the half guard position. And it's no secret, I'm a higher rank than Hunter, so I should smash it, but I'm going to make sure I detail tips that can help you guys as well to get past this guard. Step 1, if they go for deep half, I like to push the head down and bring my knee over the head. Now I'm one step ahead of him, so when he tries to turn into me, I will have a really strong base. And as he turns into me, I'm also going to lock up the head for a quick guillotine grab. Then I want to bring my leg over the hip so I can try and pressure into him. I also want to flatten my opponent, because if I can flatten him, then I know he won't be able to escape this guillotine, and I just have to continue pressuring him until he taps. That guillotine was a great example of trusting your grips. That guillotine did not tap him instantly, it took a little bit of time, but I trusted my grips and my positioning, so I just had to hold the choke, and he was going to tap anyway. Now I am entering Hunter's half guard again, and he's going to do a very common technique. It's very common that they want to grab the underhook. So as he grabs the underhook, I want to make sure to lean pressure against his neck and on his head. This is going to reduce a lot of pressure from the underhook, but you don't want to lean too far. If I lean too far, he will very easily sweep me. The next step is I want to pin his shoulders to the mat. Just like in so many other positions in jiu-jitsu, it's very important to pin them to the mat, and this is going to make his underhook so much weaker. It's not a guarantee that I'm going to be able to stay in this spot, but I'm able to push his legs and move around and get to a better position. Another key secret is I love to frame on the head. Kind of a dick move because you apply a ton of pressure on the neck, but this is going to let my hips scoot up. As my hips scoot up, I can start to latch onto his neck and look towards another guillotine choke. For this guillotine, I want to bring my elbow down, push my chest forward, and then push my arm into his throat for a different type of finish. Generally, it's hard to finish in that position because they're going to be moving around a lot, so you want to make sure to push your chest forward enough that they won't be able to move on their back. Entering any guard on your terms is a key idea. I entered with a knee cut, and this is going to let me put pressure on Hunter immediately. Now I have tempo on my side, so I can start to lead the charge into this next attack, and I even have all the steps broken down. Step 1 is he's going to grab for an underhook on me. From here, I want to make sure I go to the whizzer and then towards front head as I throw my hand under the neck for the choke. Then I want to step past his knees, sit down, and pull him into my guard. I can squeeze from this position until I'm able to get the tap with another arming guillotine. Anytime you can sit past their knees, it's going to be a brutal guillotine. You can apply a ton of leverage from that position, and it's really easy to pull your opponent into you, so I recommend following those same steps that I just listed for you. I make sure to step on Hunter's shin so I can keep his leg pinned to the ground. If it's pinned, it's really easy to enter on my terms once again, and I go towards this knee cut. Now Hunter's looking a little defeated here as I push my knee into him, but that's exactly what we want to do. I want to shove a lot of weight with my knee into his chest and make him uncomfortable. I want him to be thinking that he wants to move, so it's going to set up an opening for me. Now the opening is that it's going to allow me to do a nice back step. This back step I want to make sure to push off of his left leg. Once I can push off of his leg, I create some extra distance and I can get my hip past his shoulder once again, as we saw before. Because I'm one step ahead of him and he tries to rotate into me, he doesn't have any strength here. He's still on his hip and he has dead hips at the moment, and I'm on my butt, so my base is way too strong. Now I can easily grab his head. Once I grab the head, it's very easy to start extending him. Always be aware of the hip positioning. Because he's still on his side, he's not able to turn into me at all, and I'm able to grab his head and freely move around my opponent. I'm also able to easily push his head down and glide into north-south position. Now I don't do too many submissions from this spot, so you're not going to see anything too fancy, but I'm definitely pressuring him enough that I want him to think that he needs to move. If you can apply a lot of weight to the chest, it's going to limit their breathing and they're going to want to get out of that position. I throw him in the bonus head, which is when I go over his arm under the neck, and I'm applying a lot of compression to him, and this is going to set up my next submission because I know he wants to move. Step 1 is I'm pushing hard with the knee, and I also grab his head. The next thing is I know that he wants to move, so he's going to stand up and grab for an underhook. As he goes for the underhook, we use the whizzer, grab the chin, take the leg, go over the mount, and then we just have to squeeze for the submission with another guillotine choke. Now quick, let's do the question of the day. What is the hardest guard for you to pass? For me, anytime I try and pass any of Brock's guards, it's very difficult, but comment below what you have issues with so I can try and address it in the future. Now Hunter's not getting any breaks because here's the next submission breakdown. I shove the head down and I pass my leg over it. I want to make sure that I also maintain tricep control of his arm so I can shoot through and grab the Kimura grip. Once I have the Kimura, I want to do the cheat code. I want to push right, pull up, then pull left to finish the submission and get another finish on Hunter. Now that was a quick breakdown, so I want to touch on it really quickly. If you have a Kimura and they're trying to hold it in, make sure to push it away from them before you just try pulling the whole time. They're going to get too used to you pulling it, it's going to be very hard to finish and take a lot of muscle out of you, so push it away as step number 1. Now again, I'm pulling on his head because I want to pull it in. You're going to see me curl the head in a lot in all of my rolls, and this is just a really easy way to pass your opponent. Then I want to make sure to apply proper weight onto Hunter so he can't move around and I can pin him to the mat. Now hopefully that helped you guys out, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because it was a good roll with Hunter. Even if I'm a much higher rank, I wanted to give you guys a fun roll to watch where I can show off more techniques. Thanks for watching the video, and also thank you all my current patrons. I appreciate all of my viewers.